I'm Susan Shovers, and I'm a resident of the in Aventura, Florida. And I'm part of a cooking series, Cooking with Bubbe. So, welcome to my kitchen. Over 50 years ago, when my husband and I moved to southern Indiana from the north, from Chicago and from Wisconsin, we discovered a whole new way of life. We lived in the South. We were right on the border, the Mason-Dixon line. And what we discovered were a lot of different foods that we had never heard of. Among them, hot browns, fried pie, burgoo, and southern whiskey bread pudding. And there's nothing like it in the world than a good piece of bread pudding. And today I'm going to share my recipe for just that. So let me tell you what you're going to need, and we'll go along and I'll show you. I have a 9 by 13 pan, greased, and I've cubed a brioche bread, and I've used the whole bread. You can use challah, you could use Italian bread, you can use a French bread, whatever you have, but it has to be stale. And I've cut it up, and now I'm going to add, I've mixed 5 eggs. And I've already whisked them. And I'm going to whisk into that about 2.5 cups of milk, whole milk. Some recipes call for whipping cream, but I find that whole milk works just as well. I'm going to whisk that up a bit. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar. This is a very decadent dessert. I recommend it once in a while. So keep that in mind when you say, oh my goodness, once in a while. That's the secret of this recipe. Have it once in a while. So I'm going to mix that very carefully. I want to dissolve the sugar. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix that. This is just wonderful. It smells good, smooth, delicious. There are many recipes for bread pudding, and I'm going to tell you about this one in a minute. Then I'm going to add to this a cup of raisins, which are optional. You don't have to, but it adds another dimension and taste to this bread pudding. So I think this is about ready. And I'm going to pour this over the bread. Carefully. I'm going to have to mix in those raisins, which I can do. Make sure everybody gets a raisin. And we're going to soak the bread. And we are going to soak it for at least 10 minutes, but you can do it longer. And you want all the bread to be, all the liquid to be absorbed into the bread. This is yummy looking already. Looks so good. All right, and now I'm going to make the topping. This is not it. We're going to do it this way. This is the topping. It is 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of chopped pecans, and a half a stick of butter. So we're going to just mix it, and you know what I'm making. I'm basically making a streusel, which we use on other things as well. But this is for this pudding. This bread pudding recipe is one of Paula Deen's. And no one is more southern than our Paula Deen. And the recipe comes from her cookbook, The Lady and Sons Just Desserts. It's not brand new, but it's been around for a few years. I can tell you that I have probably made 90% of her recipes. Everything is delicious that she makes. And why? Because they're so rich. Everything is butter, sugar, and whipped cream. And if you know me, as you're getting to know me well, everything I love has to have whipped cream. So, Paula and me. But her things are good, really good, and this is one of them. So I'm almost there. I want to absorb as much into the butter as I can. This is looking good. You can almost eat this by itself. So good. Remember, this is once in a while. I should name this the once in a while bread pudding. I like that. This is pretty good. I think we can start doing this. So now all I'm going to do is sprinkle this all over the top. And you know what? Forgive me, I'm going to use my hands because it will go faster and it works better. This is covering the whole thing. I'm doing the corners, the ends. So wherever you cut into it, it will be perfect. And there we are. Here is the bread pudding. Ready for the oven. This goes into a 350-degree oven for 35 or 45 minutes. You know your oven, so make sure to test, about 30, 35 minutes to see how it's coming along. It should be nice and brown and delicious. So now that when we put that in the oven, we are going to make our sauce. And that's the best part. So come on over to the stove. I've melted a stick of butter and I've cooled it because I'm going to put egg in it. And when you put in an egg in a hot substance, you get scrambled eggs. And we don't want a scrambled egg with this. So now I'm going to put in 1 stick of melted butter, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 mixed egg, 1 whipped up egg, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm going to put it over medium heat and begin to stir it. Here we go. I'm just going to get it dissolved, and then I'm going to let it cook. And when it's thick and the sugar has dissolved, then we add the whiskey. This has to cook for a while, because the sugar is not dissolved. So I'm really doing this at a medium temperature. It will cook for a while by itself. So I want to show you what it looks like done. So let me take this one. And this is a finished bread pudding. And here is the sauce. And here is the whipped cream. And here is a plate. And a fork. And I'm going to tell you something. I am going to try this. I love it. So I'm going to take a piece right now. And it's kind of mushy. It's okay. This is not a neat dessert. Do it with a fork. And then I'm going to add a little bit of whiskey sauce. Ooh. Yeah. And of course, my whipped cream that I cannot be without. And I want to taste this. But I don't want you to tell anybody. Don't look. Promise me you won't look. Because I don't usually taste. This is delicious. See you next time.